she's falling.
She's saying no, but
She's mad, but she still can't even stand.
She's so wobbly.
Zhang Weili is furious.
She's upset. But 100%. 100%.
How you doing on a Friday? Happy August. Today is August 1st, 2024, episode 188 of Axe Kick Picks. Welcome in, kid. How you doing today?
How you doing? Keep it moving.
Exactly.
Doing great, man. I'm ready to get into this weekend, bro. Try to stay active on the timeline because I was locked into some fights this morning. You know, one doing a double header as they do sometimes on Friday. So Friday fights were earlier. They got all the way up to 118, but they have a fight night tonight. One fight night 34. Of course, BKFC, they are on a roll, man. And it is bike week in South Dakota. So, you know, Bare Knuckle had to do it right and get an event over there in Sturgis. They got BKFC 79 Sturgis. And then last but not least, you know, and all those boxing fans, if you want some of those fights, Oscar Duarte and Regis Prograis, they have their respective fights on the same card as main and co-main event. I think that was one of the more entertaining boxing match cards we had this weekend.
I feel like from everything I've read, one is dying.
A little bit, right? You feel?
Yeah.
They're
Chachi's losing money.
That's what it is. They're operating in the red. But so is like the WNBA. So is you gotta spend some money to make some money. So let's hope not, you know. Look, we could legitimize the organization by seeing how good RDR is doing.
Yeah, good tease. So, yeah, we got a great episode for you guys. We'll recap UFC Abu Dhabi. RDR, man. What a fucking win that was.
Yeah.
Clarissa Shields. Whoa. We got, wow. Do you know how many days it's been since the UFC has returned to the luxury UFC Apex?
How about let's do November of 2024?
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm saying how many days?
123.
163 days.
So it's only been a couple months.
Yeah, only been a couple months, but we do have a main event here this weekend. SummerSlam right here, about 10-15 minutes down Patterson Plank Road down there in East Rutherford.
Are there still scalpers? I mean, could you get a ticket outside the venue, or is that doesn't exist anymore?
I think those days are long gone, if I'm being honest. So,
are you going to go? Are you going to try to grab a seat?
No. I got too much to do over this weekend.
Man.
I'll watch, though. 2-night event. I'm glad it's 2 nights, kind of like WrestleMania. It's
nice to come up, you know, see you, maybe go check out that. You get to see CM Punk and John Cena. But you know what? It looks like if also to tease that, it looks like they may face, you know, off in a future date. We'll see.
I cannot wait. So we will see. But let's recap. We'll recap UFC Abu Dhabi, and it all starts in the main event in the middleweight division. RDR gets the split decision over Robert Whittaker, 47-48 and 48-47 times 2. Real quick, kid. I gave the way I scored. I gave rounds 2, 4, and 5 to RDR, but it was close. I wouldn't have been mad if they gave it to Robert Whittaker. I thought it was razor close, but what a 4-fight win streak! Just 4 wins in 8 months. He's defeating veterans, prospects, former champions. He submitted GM3, submitted Kevin Holland. He knocked out Bo Nickel, and then he gets a split. Then he gets a split decision over the Whittaker. I mean, I don't know how many good things you could say about this guy. I don't think he's next because I do think the winner between Caio Borralho and Nasruddin Imavov should be next.
Their claim, yeah.
But, man, he's right there, and he should be in the top 5, and great win for RDR.
He's done it all, right? You said it in his short little stint here in the UFC. He's legitimizing one. He teased it perfectly, I think, to start the show. And, I mean, you know, double champ there, has the ability to grapple with anyone, but he's done everything. He's even been knocked down. He withstanded one of the biggest shots of the fight and got up and was still able to win on the scorecard. So, you know, he has that perseverance. I just think he has an edge as well when it comes to, you know, grappling exchanges, clinch work, and like I said, kind of butting in the knee, man. That knee is lethal. One of the best weapons he has in his stand-up arsenal, and maybe one of the better ones in the middleweight division. If you talk about, like we say, those kind of one-trick weapons there, it's something effective. It comes in awkwardly, and he gets the job done time and time again. There's no doubt in him now. I do think, like you said, maybe it's a little bit. He's already moved off of the one moniker. He's a UFC fighter now. We've had enough fights with him here, but just goes to show that promotion is not far off. So I got to give them a little credit there, in terms of what they could possibly do. But this is the UFC. I agree with your stance. Those other fighters with the French card, Imavov, Bahayo, have been in the division, have done a little bit more. They possibly deserve that shot over him. But he's right there, right? He like you said, could maybe fight the loser of that, or they can get another, match made in the meantime that could, get him to a title, because he's a hot commodity for the middleweight division in the UFC.
Him versus Hamza, or him versus DDP. I wouldn't be mad if it's a lackluster fight between Imavov and Khalid Bahayo, like a snooze fest. Would you be surprised if the UFC said, "Hey, he's been more fighting. Yeah. He's been active 4 fights
you would
in
have
8 months.
More steam at that point." Yeah, you could argue RDR. Yeah, he's on a higher streak with some finishes sprinkled in, and what distance with Robert Whittaker. We all know if you get that victory over Robert Whittaker, it pretty much guarantees you a title shot.
Yeah. What do you think of Robert Whittaker now? That's tough
didn't
loss.
Lose too much stock for me.
No.
Yeah. I mean, that's unfortunate. You know, the game of inches. We know it, and that's highest of levels. It all it takes is one less mistake. One thing you could have done that may have surmounted in the fight. But he's still right there, man. He's still a guy. I know this fight was kind of crucial for his point in his career where he was trying to get towards that title fight. But if he's not done fighting just yet, I do think they could do some things with him. But, it's just unfortunate, a guy we like, Robert Whittaker, for the career that he's had. He's fallen short a couple times, but I don't think his stock drops too much, in my opinion.
I'm all over the RDR train, though.
That's what it is. I think it's more high on RDR and his ability than anything with Robert Whittaker, because it was a split. And you could have seen that possibly with the, give or take a round or two, it could have been his.
In real time, did you think he won?
No, I was on RDR, man. I know he got dropped, and I know that was very significant, but we've seen that a couple times this year in 2025. It's weird. Sometimes the guys that get dropped wind up winning the round in terms of, how,
positionally
control, and everything that goes into the scoring. Even though they get dropped, they wind up winning a round. So I think even on that time, he still was doing all right. He was still pushing forward, and yeah, man, he seems to be able to overcome most adversity, and that's what you like to see in guys that are trying to get to the title.
I think people who were on Robert Whittaker's side and thought he won, when he did drop him, RDR did hold his glove a little bit.
Yeah, it happens.
It should have been taking a point. There should
be
toes
in the cage with one of the fights earlier, right? You know what I mean? Like there's things here and there that occur. That hindsight's 20/20, but it's hard in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, no, I get that, but. Yeah, big win for RDR. He is now in the top 5 in that middleweight division. So interested to see what's next. Maybe some things will get to be played out in Paris before we see. But and I don't think Robert Whittaker is anywhere close to being done either. I think he'll get right back on the horse. He wants a few more as well. So
he gets paid, brother. He walked out there. He got to pay that man 6 figures just to get into the octagon.
I mean, he has 6-7 kids now at this point.
That's right.
Family to feed.
That family, big old family.
Petr Yan, great win. Vintage Petr Yan.
How could I ever have doubted that?
Unanimous decision. But the plus 3.5 hits, baby. Plus 120.
Lock of the century, though, bro. I should have settled down. You got to tell me, bro, calm down, pump the brakes. Listen to me. I got the play for you.
But it's a 3-fight win streak now for Petr Yan. Unanimous decision over Song Yadong.
Yeah.
Unanimous decision over Davison Figueiredo. And now I think he did the UFC a favor and took this Marcus McGee fight. He didn't need to do anything. And I like it. Called the champion out and said, listen, good luck in your fight against Corey Sandhagen, but I'm next. He shouldn't have to fight an Umar Nurmagomedov. Why?
No, I say title shot. Petr Yan, the fans are clamoring for it. We will sell out for Petr Yan. There is a Petr Yan army out there, and that's the thing. It's just the person he is, but also the skill set he brings. Every time he goes out there, when has he not been able to secure that Petr Yan vintage takedown? You said a classic Petr Yan performance. Yeah. Every time he has one of those, he has that trip takedown that is just so effective, especially with the way he throws combos and he gets it on the hip properly. I mean, the footwork, second to none. He's so crisp with the boxing. If you can keep it standing against Merab, now Merab has the test with Corey, but I think for some reason, looking into it, not to peek too much, that just similar body types between him and Sean. I think Merab will be ready. I will be leaning Merab to retain and get this Peter Yan fight. So yeah, good on Peter Yan doing what he needed to do, staying active, something that we didn't see with like the likes of Michael Chandler with all the fights you could have taken. Peter Yan's like, keep me active, keep me fresh, no ring rust. He's ready for the title.
Yeah, he's ready for the title, and he shouldn't have to take any fights. He shouldn't have Sean fight Umar.
Yeah, we want that. Exactly.
Yeah.
We didn't get Corey versus Sean. I think after that, then we might get it, right? We could get a Corey versus Sean if Merab beats him, retains, and if Umar does get a win over Sean O'Malley. That's a good call out right there.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there, but I'm glad Piotr Yan. I love the wholesome month, bringing his two little boys in the cage as well.
Awesome,
so,
bro. So wholesome, bro.
Yeah, Piotr Yan is a fan favorite. I like him. I think he's really good, and he's dangerous. You know, I know Piotr Yan, Merab kind of made it look easy, but who doesn't he make it look easy against?
Yeah.
So I think he deserves it. And, you know, I don't think it's a real step down or a fall off for Marcus McGee. It was a tough fight for a guy who's most likely going to fight for the title next. So I think he'll be just fine, Marcus McGee. He did go down one ranking. Watch out for my boy Lockdog Oliveira. He's coming up, but I thought it was all right. He just got outmatched.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a big step of competition. And like you said, that for Peter Yan, not much to gain from it. He was already cemented as probably the next in line after Corey. So more risk than reward in that sense. But yeah, you don't lose too much. You're playing with house money if you're Marcus McGee.
The fight of the night, Sara Magomedov taking on Marc-Andre Barriault. What a fucking fight that was.
Yeah, power bar. Yeah, Sara was still fresh in that third, though. He wasn't too bad as often you see most Marc-Andre Barriault fights.
He was taking some damage on the top of the head, though.
Yeah, he certainly was, man. But it's just weird, man. I've been hearing like through the waves, a lot of people are just, you know, don't really are high on Magomedov just because it seems like he's never going to be able to get that fight in the States, and to just grow your fandom and to also be able to be champion in this sport. I think you need to be able to go anywhere in the world. The eye is limiting. We know about it. You know, fortunately for Bisping, he didn't let it be known and he was able to become champion. But I think it's going to be hard for Sara Bullet. But it was a good victory for him in his career. I just don't know what to do with him next, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like for both guys, hate to say it seems like it's gimmicky when it comes to Sara Bullet.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next because that middleweight division is locked and loaded. We'll see where he does, but it's like it's very limited where he could fight, you know?
Exactly.
So,
it's got to be all overseas. And like you said, maybe not even certain countries like Australia might not give him the okay.
Ban him. You know who I need to be banned from betting? Peruvian fighters. Too.
Just like your boy.
Yeah. So Amabayev
hated him.
But it was a nice bounce back from Amabayev. I thought he clearly won the fight.
Absolutely.
And I don't know what the fuck Jose was doing. He came out very slow, and I was like,
you saw him during the weigh-ins though. Like he seemed just flat, bro. And I just saw the energy level there. I don't put too much stock into the weigh-ins.
But this was a big fight for him. This was an opportunity to get into the top 10. And
that's what I mean. You think you're going to come in, and even at the weigh-ins, they made a lot. They do. Like I said, you may not want to weigh too heavy on them, but look, we had some fighters miss weight, you know, this morning for tomorrow's fight. So I think there's something to be said about it. He came in looking flat, and he came into the octagon looking flat, and it proved in his performance.
I'm also done betting Nikita Krylov. He's terrible.
He's
terrible.
Don't touch him. He's a minor.
Yeah.
And I picked Big Dan. I picked Big Dan on that one. You know, I had to go. I like Bogdan Guskov. You know, on the opposite end of what I kind of complain about.
He looks like a bald Anthony Smith.
Yeah, bro, Lionheart, baby. But
or like Voldemort.
He's just like, I feel like he's entertaining, man. Like it's kill or be killed, right? He's gonna get the knockout, or he himself is gonna get finished somehow. So how could you not be entertained by someone like that?
Send Saeed Nurmagomedov to Arkansas for about 2 to 3 months.
Let's say 2-3 years, Arkansas.
Yeah. I mean, Bryce Mitchell, great win for him. It was I think the moment of the night was when they were speaking Russian and he thought they were speaking a different language. He goes, "Assalamu alaikum" or something like that. I was like, this fucking guy Bryce is crazy.
Oh man, but
great win.
Yeah, and his debut 135. I think the division fits him better.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think 135 is better for Bryce.
Yeah, and to do that, like you said, it's either going to see Saeed excommunicated like we talked about, or, yeah, like you said, 2-3 years at Arkansas and forget.
Yeah. Muslim Salikov, what a fucking win for that. I mean, huge underdog, knocks him out in 42 seconds. Man. See you, Carlos Leal.
41 years young, baby. Wow. And I was saying that I tweeted about it, that discrepancy between these two oldest fighters in the UFC, where Wonderboy Thompson is the oldest fighter and is on a 3-fight skid, whereas Muslim Salikov is on a 3-fight winning streak. And in 2 of them, amazing, impressive performances. We doubted him when that Randy Brown fight. We faded him properly there. Just how good is Randy Brown? I got to say from that. Looking how
good
boy Salikov is looking, bro, at 41.
Another guy who we shouldn't bet or who shouldn't fade when he's a huge underdog.
Davy Grant.
Davy fucking Grant, bro.
Totally, bro.
He's every time we think he's gonna lose, he just winds up. He's a dog.
Yeah, absolute dog, bro. It don't matter if he's hurt, gets cut. He's coming. Davy Grant's gonna keep coming after.
You know who also cuts you? Baby Shark. With those fucking elbows,
Great
baby,
ball,
out of fucking girl.
I should have never changed my pick. I should have stayed with you. We should have rode that Baby Shark dog
into the top 7 now at that strawweight division. It's a nice little momentum here for Tabitha Ritchie. It's good.
Yeah.
You know, the night did not go to Muhammad Yahya and Jason Herzog. I mean, it's two fights now. And I know heat of the moment, it's tough, but I don't know if there should be a rule, but if you get knocked down 5 times in a round, you gotta call it.
One's Muay Thai rule with the 4-ounce gloves, 3 knockdowns equal a TKO finish.
How much damage is your brain suffering at that point? Like,
yeah, man.
And I know he's at home. He's tough as nails. And he had a moment as well, Muhammad Yahya. But, bro, and for them to come out and say, oh, he's all good. There's no structural damage. His frontal orbital's fine. Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here. Yeah, that was scary.
He's hurt. The guy took a year off of his life.
There was a difference, like someone getting flash knockdowns. Like, we would have never gotten maybe the Czech Congo knockout over Pat Barry if, they stopped it. Dan Berglotic stopped it early. If they never kept it going, they would have never gotten that knockout. So I can understand when it's something looks like that, but when a guy is taking that much damage, like you're saying, D-Rock, bro, you got to step in. Your job as the referee is to protect the fighter. So.
And I think Jason Herzog is one of the best referees, but man, it's been back-to-back 2 fights.
Because when you don't hear from them, they've been doing good. So there's no praise and there's only criticism. And when you hear from them, normally that's bad.
And I know he's not going to come out and say anything because they don't have any obligation to. But I would like to hear from the refs. Like, what were you thinking? Because in the NFL and the NBA, you have the official report. You have why they made a call. Hey, I fucked up. I shouldn't have made that call. Like, I want to hear from these fucking refs that fucked up.
I say get them in front of a mic. I guess on paper is all fine and dandy, but let's get them in front of the questions. We hold the fighters so high when they're in the middle of cutting weight, like killing themselves to do so, and they have to answer questions. I feel like the same should be said for them. Just get them involved more.
I agree. And unfortunately, to end it, UFC has parted ways with Martin Buday.
After a victory,
overall,
they were like, "You beat our hope at heavyweight. Goodbye."
Yeah.
You don't want
7-1 in the UFC. He won last weekend. He fought out his deal, and no new contract was offered. And my thing is, Dana White came out. I don't know about recently, but he's come out and said we need new heavyweights. Well, you had one. Who just a top 13 in the world?
The most decorated jiu-jitsu artist, arguably in the 20th century. Marcus Buchecha, and you had a guy beat him and do pretty well in that.
He sucked all those
takedowns. I saw he was a bigger guy. Buday is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but just different upbringing. A guy who did it to lose weight, and stay in shape and be active. And you go and beat a world champion like that. That's what mixed martial arts is the craziest sport in the world. But should be saying something. Buchecha did fight out of 1. There's got to be a record for the amount of times we mentioned ONE FC in this show and in its history. So, Martin Buday, maybe you get signed to 1 and try to become a champ there.
I'll say this: some guys just don't look good going in, or women as well don't look good transferring over to MMA. Buchecha is not one of them. He did not look good. He was good for like 2 minutes.
His grappling is next level, but it's only half the game. It's actually maybe even a third of it.
Maybe even third, exactly. So. Yeah, that was it. Overall, we had a really good weekend, 4-2 overall. How did you do, kid?
I did better than I have been doing. In the UFC, I went 5-4. Nice. Very excited to have a nice positive record.
Clarissa Shield dominates once again. Sold out Little Caesar Palace. She defeats Lonnie Daniels by unanimous decision. She defended her undisputed heavyweight titles. It was so cool to see her come out with Rick Ross and her 17 world titles. I'll say this, man. It's tough because I want to say she's number one, but she doesn't have the resume that Katie Taylor has.
Yeah.
Katie Taylor's number one. Clarissa Shields is 2.
Holly Holm is 3.
Wow. Amanda Serrano's 3. And then it doesn't matter who's.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah, I think that the fight to make next is Shadesa Green and Patterson. We made it. Yeah, no, again for Clarissa Shields.
Clarissa Shields.
That's the fight. They have the beef. They were once partners and they were training partners. So and
she matches Shadesa matches Clarissa with size. I think that's always been her edge. She's always been bigger than a lot of her opponents.
That's the problem. You can't. There's no one to fight up there for heavyweight.
Yeah.
So it's not her fault that her resume is not as good as Katie Taylor's, but man, the fight to make next is Shadesa Green. I get it. Savannah Marshall's there as well, but I'm interested to see where Clarissa signs with. Maybe Matchroom, maybe MVP.
How about X Boxing go back to the PFL?
No.
And go to mixed martial arts. How about she fights Kayla Harrison in a freak show event? No. I think you're right. She's probably gonna stick with the boxing, right?
Yeah, she should. It's
she's looked bad in grappling exchanges, and to almost losing a couple of those fights. I mean,
I give her props. She's at least she jumped in, unlike other people.
Credit for that, absolutely.
And she has a winning record, 2-1.
She does, exactly. But it's not going to be an easy road for her for the rest of her MMA career. It might be a lot easier, making more money too, I guess, with the boxing.
Yeah, but Clarissa Shields, the GWOAT, we'll see where she fights at it next, but her hands are lethal as well. All right, kid, before we get to it, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around at golf with the boys or an Elderberry watching SummerSlam, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with our Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at XK Picks and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. Fight night. Taisura Taira, that's my boy. I like Taisura Taira, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Still high
against Hung Sung Park.
Shout out him.
Cut Amir Albazi.
Yeah, he's got to go. Just like you did Muhammad Mahakayev. You just said goodbye even after he won a fight.
Yeah,
against one of your contenders. And this dude hasn't really won a fight against any contender, and he's still ranked in the top 5 yet.
Houseway. Shout out Hung Sung Park, though, the South Korean. He did step up on less than a week's notice.
He was going to fight next week, though, right? He was scheduled to fight next week.
He was scheduled to fight next week, but still, Taisura Taira is a much different opponent.
Totally different.
Yeah. So, that's the main event in the flyweight division. Chief support is in the lightweight. We got Chris Duncan taking on Masrut Rambeki. Elvis Brenner taking on Esteban Ribovic.
That's a good one.
I like my boy Neil Magny, baby. We'll get into it.
Yeah, we know how it is. 3 certainties in life.
But we're gonna start in the women's strawweight division.
Yeah, brother. I know you said everyone weighed in. We had a couple weight misses, right?
Yes, your boy.
What's his name as well?
Tresean Gore.
No, the other one as well. It was Estevam.
Oh, Ribovic.
No, Rafael Estevam.
Oh, Estevam. Yeah, you're messing me up, kid.
Oh,
Rafael Esteem.
Yeah, Estevam.
Taking on Felipe Burns.
Pretty like 5 pounds, right? Pretty heavy.
Cut him. My level of tolerance is gone.
It's gone. It's got to be fines and points taken right off the bat. But like you said, 115 strawweight division. Piera Rodriguez. She's been rolling in the UFC when she finds her ability to get the fight to the ground. And the odds makers have her of a -200 favorite, but not so fast. I don't know how you can fade Caitlin Souza. Plus 185, I think the value is on the Brazilian. Because I think the jiu-jitsu could come into play. She could stand up. I think at the younger age, she's seen more competition, and I think she has better hands. So just ipso facto, dog value, more ways to win. Give me Caitlin Souza. I'll go right into the next fight. 125 is the one I mentioned, but might be a catchweight now. Esteban has missed by 5 pounds. I guess you're going to need Felipe Bunez to, accept it, right? So we'll see what happens there. But Boone is going to be completely counted out. Plus 450 on the odds. It's Rafael Esteban or bust, I think, here. And especially he's going to have that weight advantage. If Bunez does accept this fight, I think Esteban's going to win inside the distance. Esteban inside the distance is plus 170. I know he's kind of struggled to get those finishes there, but look at his history, his track record. He finds a way to take opponents down, dominate their ground and pound finishes or submission. So I think he's the right side. And to get that value out, you got to go inside the distance, plus 170. I'll go into the next one as well, because the fights did get moved around. I thought this was going to be a couple earlier, but Austin Bashi is 145, and he's heavily favored against John Giannis. Minus 575 against plus 500, man. Damn, I just don't see. I know it's hard to give someone like this unproven as he came out last time, right? And Austin Bashi to get that much of a favorite. You may want to take the value, but I just think this is setting him up. I think the UFC is giving Austin Bashi John Giannis so he can get a victory here. But I think he disappoints a little bit. I do think he'll be victorious. I'm going to go with the value pick of the total, and that's over 2.5 rounds. Austin Bashi could win. I think they're all setting this up for him to win inside the distance. But let's say he just slips up and John Giannis can do something. I like the over 2.5 rounds, plus 125. It's worth a little sprinkle.
Yeah, Giannis, he's stepping in on short notice here. He's making his UFC debut. I like Austin Bashi here. He's a near to 5-1 favorite. It's insane. And, despite taking a loss in his UFC debut, Austin Bashi, I think he's going to utilize his wrestling here, get the fight to the mat as quickly as possible, and get it done inside the distance. You could get that at minus 185. Feel free to toss him in one of your parlays as well. I think he should win this fight.
Right on, brother.
Right on.
Now I'm seeing maybe going to have to be a catchweight fight again, but we'll set up for 185 pounds. This middleweight fight is Rodolfo Vieira, who's minus 190, the BJJ expert that he is. Maybe it's not a good year for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialties,
or
like
Brazilians.
We saw with Marcus Buchecha, but I don't know about this one because Tresean Gore plus 190, man. He comes in with the 3.5 pound miss. We've made money fading him, and I think we're going to go back to the well. I'm going to just take Rodolfo Vieira straight up on the money line. I'll lay the chalk on minus 190 with any type of victory. But you probably see the path to victory here. Tresean Gore lost to a stand-up specialist, Marco Tulio, via KO TKO. He's taking on a jiu-jitsu specialist here. You could easily see Vieira via submission. But I'm not willing to go specific. I'll just lay the chalk, like I said, on the money line.
Cut him.
Now we go to what could, another be a, type of grappling exchange that could make more sense here with the guy that utilizes a lot of jiu-jitsu and Fletcher, a guy that uses a lot of wrestling and Nakamura. This 135-pound matchup, man, Rinya Nakamura is favorited, though, minus 400. Rightfully so, been in the UFC a little longer, has more finishes on the feet with TKOs and the like. But Nathan Fletcher, man, he was really good in Cage Warriors, and he finds a way to the back, and he submits a lot of opponents. Plus 400, man, and Nakamura falling flat in his face a couple times. I think it could happen. I think we'll go back-to-back losses for Rinya Nakamura. As high we were for the Japanese fighters, I feel like not this time. I'm going to take the value pick in Nathan Fletcher to get the job done. At plus 400, really going to hunt that one down.
Skipping all these plays. Are we not on the Nick Klein?
I see that next. That's what I mean. Yeah, I'm seeing this is how I
Nick Klein, UFC had it 2 fights earlier.
Wow. But we'll talk about that now. So that's a 185-pound matchup. Nick Klein is taking on Andre Pulev. Surprised you didn't mention Andre Pulev. I think he's the better fighter here. Nick Klein, I think he's going to try to hunt the takedown. I think he's going to need to because I think if it stays standing, I think Pulev is going to get him out of there. So no value on the dog for me. Give me Andre Pulev via KO TKO at plus 180. Squeeze that money line favorite at minus 150 down all the way to plus money for you.
Give me Nick Klein plus 140, baby. This is two middleweights who won their way into the UFC via Dana White's Contender Series, then went on to lose their lone UFC fights to this point. I think the difference is, though, Nick Klein has looked better than expected, while Andre, he's failed to impress, in my opinion. Nick Klein, he's aggressive. He's looking to fish fights, which I like. with 2 knockouts and 3 submissions and 6 career wins. So I think he's going to go hunt for that win. So I'm going to take the value here plus 140. Give me the dog.
All right, opposite sides. So let's start up the main card. We'll go right into the featherweight matchup. I see Danny Silva, big dog price, plus 350, taking on Kevin Vallejos at minus 400. And rightfully so, right? Kevin Vallejos seems to be the truth. Gets a lot of finishes. I'm high on the kid. He's going to be a leg of my Argentinian knockout parlay. So I got to lay the prop, squeeze that minus 400 down to plus 120 with the Kevin Vallejos via KO TKO prop. No opinions on that fight?
No.
Now I'll go into the 3 certainties in life, which is death, taxes,
and Neil Magny via decision, baby.
Let's go, man. Are you willing to lay the chalk plus 175? Elizeu Zaleski is minus 190.
Yeah, I mean, Neil Magny plus 175. Give me it. The American, he's going to have 4 inches taller and 7-inch reach advantage over the Brazilian as well. So, well, Neil Magny has been knocked out in back-to-back fights, which is concerning for an aging fighter. He's still only losing to young, top-of-the-division guys, while Dos Santos is not. And I think he can use his length, his clinch, his grappling game, and I think he's gonna stop this losing skid here. The value, give me Neil Magny, baby. Get back on the win track. Plus
I love it. I love that play. I could play it safe and take the over 2.5 rounds. If Zaleski does edge out something, that's minus 170. So I do think it's playable. That would be my official play, but I'm going for it. I'm going with you. I might as well just go for it. You know how I am. You like the safe bets. I think Neil Magny could find his way to a finish since you played him on the money line. But if you do take him with the via decision, as we talk about the 3 certainties in life, Neil Magny, that via decision, man, here are going to give you some big plus money odds. I got not unanimous. Damn. All the way up to like plus 250 you could possibly get, plus 225. So I'm going to nail it.
Yep.
Now let's move on to a women's matchup. I guess it's got some high stakes because it's in the main card here. You know, it could do a lot with the rankings. This 135-pound matchup, it makes a lot of sense because the division needs a lot of movement there. So Carol Rosa, you know, she's going to have to, you know, hold her spot because Nora Cornell is on the rise. I just, you know, I'm not too sold on Nora Cornell. I thought she fought some good fights, but Rosa gets slept on at times, and she's favored here. I think I'll slide with the chalk, and I'll lay it on the money line. I do think you expect this type of fight to go to the judges, but yeah, I'll just lay the chalk with the Rosa just in case if she gets something done inside the distance. But I would probably lean, like I said, towards the decision in this one. So let's go to the last 3 fights in this featured bout. 155 pounds, man. Esteban Ribovic is minus 230, and he's taking on Elvis Brenner at plus 210. And Elvis Brenner, you know, shock to many, he comes in as a dog most times, and he may put it on the line. And with that, he could easily hit an opponent and get a victory, but he also leaves himself able to get hit. And like I had already mentioned before, I have an Argentinian on a parlay, a prop parlay, which is the knockout parlay. I think Esteban Ribovic, like he did with T-Rex, may leave Elvis Brenner in a meme-worthy state. So Esteban Ribovic via KO TKO at plus 190, taking that straight up, value there. But let's cap it off with that 2-leg Argentinian knockout parlay worth plus 540.
Love it. I'm on the same play. Plus 190, Esteban Ribovic via KO TKO. You know, the bloom has come off the rose of Elvis Brenner, and he dropped 2 straight fights, including he got TKO'd in his last one. However, that was the first time in 21 pro MMA fights that he was stopped. Esteban Ribovic, he should be on another level here versus Elvis Brenner, on the feet, especially on the mat as well. I think he gets the finish here. Get back on the win column. I think he puts him away. So Esteban Ribovic via KO TKO at plus 190.
Those 2 guys, I think, are representing Argentina's mixed martial arts scene, and this is the type of play that I would like to rush to the window for. So North Carolina, here I come.
Here we go.
Let's go into the co-main event of the evening. Lightweight matchup, like D-Rock said. Chris Duncan, man, puts Scotland on his back, man, and fights for freedom. And Mateusz Rebecki, he may have something to say about that because Polish power, you know, it's always there. It's always present. So what side are you going to take there, man? What you know, countrymen, on which side are you going to side with, man? Rebecki has fought pretty well throughout his career, and I know he dropped that Diego Ferreira fight, but he went right back on track and gathered a win. And Chris Duncan, though, he seems to have, recollected his career after those losses. And, you could say the competition with like Vucinic and Oki not being maybe as established, but I think those guys could be fast risers in a division that is hungry for new blood. At 155, you can see there's a lot of older fighters still at the top of the weight class. So I like Chris Duncan. I do like Matsis Rebicki, yeah, but like I said, you lose to Diego Ferreira, you get pieced up like an Oral Bly. Even though Oral Bly looked good, he weighed in almost 10 pounds heavier than his other opponent, so could have been just him abusing the weight advantage there. I'm gonna go with Chris Duncan. I like the value. I like the guy. I like the fight he has, the pride he fights with. He has knockout power. He's shown he could submit you. He doesn't mind going the distance. He's tough as nails. I feel like the toughness in this fight actually will reign supreme, and he might out-tough Rebecki. You've seen him at times, not necessarily fold, but seems that he scars very easily. He swells very easily. We could see him get stopped due to the doctors, especially like you were talking about last week, the referee not getting involved, the doctors not getting involved. If you see Rebecki and his eyes swollen shut, they may step in at the apex and say, we're not continuing this fight. So Chris Duncan, based off toughness, I like the guy a lot. I'm playing with my heart in this one, but give me the dog price in the co-main event, plus 180. Yeah,
two teammates squaring off here in the Chiefs support. Could earn front of the night, I think. Duncan, he's won back-to-back fights as an underdog. He finds himself in another spot here as an underdog. I like Mateusz Rebecki here. I think he's a sneaky good 20-2 in his pro MMA career. He's 4-1 in the UFC. He's also a finisher. 9 knockouts, 7 submissions among those 20. And Chris Duncan's a bit of a brawler. He has good submission skills, but if Rebecki minds his P's and Q's, he should be able to use his wrestling, grappling, carry himself to a win. So I do like him. But I like the over 1.5 at minus 145. I like that. And I also like Rebecki as a minus 200 favorite here. So yeah, those are my two plays.
Not too bad, man. I'm glad we're on opposite sides, and we have been for the past couple of weeks. Kind of rounds out our bets and see who comes out on top. So here we are for the main event of UFC Vegas 108. They're back for the Apex. I wonder when the next time they'll be back again. Next week? No, they're going somewhere else next week. But this flyweight matchup consists of Tatsuro Taira, who's minus 310, because Hong Sung Park at plus 290. D-Rock, give me your opinions.
Yeah, last minute switch up, like I said a little earlier. Rising prospect steps in for Amir Albazi, who should be cut. I think this is a fun matchup, though. They're two high-level grapplers. However, I do think Tatsuro Taira, he's more experienced against quality competition. That's why he's a 3-1 favorite. But, Park has been impressive, but Taira is better everywhere this fight goes. I like Tatsuro Taira inside the distance here. I think he's eventually going to get to either the submission or the knockout ground and pound. So inside the distance is at plus 100 at even money. Get that minus 300 all the way down to even money. I like that.
Yeah, you can see that certainly. Taira, he likes grappling, But Hong Sung Park's no joke there either. The dude definitely competes a lot in no-gi. And I think in terms of the ranking system, I'm sure Taira is only above him by only a belt. I'm pretty sure Hong Sung Park's a blue belt and Taira is a purple belt. Normally the rankings don't reflect too much. It just maybe the time in the gi that it does. Like I said, Park doing all the no-gi, you don't necessarily get ranked up from there. So he's going to be well-versed with the onslaught of grappling that Taira's going to throw at him, all the experience he's had on the mats. I think I got to go with, the basis of knowledge that I have. A purple belt normally should beat a blue belt. So I like Taira in this. I do see his possibility to the path inside the distance, but I like it later. This is a 5-round fight. Not that Hong Sung Park wasn't preparing for a fight, but to jumpstart it a week early, don't think it keeps you in the best, mindset. I feel like it kind of happens too soon, too quick. Taira was ready for this moment, and he was going to fight a top 5 opponent and Amir Albazi. Now he's fighting a guy who's outside even the top 25. So, a situation where a lot to gain for Park, not a lot to gain for Taira. I just see that Taira is going to win this in the later rounds. I do think the inside the distance is live, but I'll play it like this. I go Taira 4th, 5th, or decision. So he can win in the 4th round. He can win in the 5th round, or he can win on the judges' scorecards. And that gives you plus 145. So some good plus money on a safe bet there. I'm on the same side as you. Give me Tatsuro Taira.
Nice. Well, good luck, Joe. A little later of a card. We got main card starts at 9. Prelims go off at 6 o'clock. So maybe get some things done around the house or with the wifey, and then come down and enjoy some fights.
That's right.
But before that, night one of I almost said WrestleMania. Night one of SummerSlam should be a really big event here. We got the World Heavyweight Championship on the line here in night one. By the way, have you seen the documentary, like behind the scenes on Netflix? Like telling the
not
truth
the documentary. You mean like the behind? There's the like the vlog series, but behind Unreal, right?
Unreal, yeah.
You've
seen it?
Which episode are you talking about? I've know of it. I've seen a couple here and there, but I haven't been locked in and watching it.
Okay, I saw the first episode. It was amazing. There's only 5 episodes, but it's so good. It's really
I'll lock into it, man.
Yeah, it should be really fun to watch. But all right, kid. Which fight do you want to tackle first?
One, right, bro? I don't. Might as well do the Sami Zayn Karrion Kross one, at least stakes. But I mean, it could weigh a lot with who's going heel or who's staying.
Yeah, I just feel like Karrion Kross doesn't feel like the guy you have win in a get the fans up spot in a major card. You know, he's a fine mid-card talent. No disrespect. I like Karrion Kross, but there's the question to what then if he gets to win. You know, Sami Zayn staying strong. I think he has more value moving forward. So I do like Sami Zayn here.
And that's fair. You could see that. But, you know, the WWE is known to kind of produce the storylines, and you could see something in the future with the two of them together. Remember, Karrion Kross has been trying to get Sami Zayn to embrace his dark side. So I'm going to go with Karrion Kross getting a victory over in SummerSlam and making Sami Zayn think about what he wants to do going forward. Maybe he wants to turn heel.
Let's go to the Roman Reigns and Jey Uso fight, taking on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. What do you like there?
That's who I got. I got Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. I think too much star power in that corner compared to Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, who are a dominant tag team. But with Seth Rollins stepping away, I think it dims the spotlight for that faction. I think Roman Reigns coming back, you don't have that guy lose, especially that he's with Jey. So, yeah, give me Roman Reigns and Jey Uso.
Yeah, I agree. I'm taking Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. Standing across from Uso and especially Reigns in a major promotion for the opponent, SummerSlam should provide how legitimate, you know, Rollins' injury is. You know, if the WWE is giving up on Uso, he could take the loss. More likely, Roman Reigns and Uso will, you know, likely stay strong, maintain the company's main event star power. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, they can't become regular fall guys. You know, they're supposed to be the company's future, but they can handle a big loss or two, you know, especially against recent champions like Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. So I agree. I'm going to take Roman Reigns and Jey Uso.
They need to pay that man money. Roman Reigns needs to get paid bank.
You want to go to the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions?
Might as well, man. Yeah.
Judgment Day taking on Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss.
I think you like the tag team of the Judgment Day. You know, two very talented wrestlers. Roxanne Perez has taken the WWE by storm, I feel like. But I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Kind of a makeshift ragtag group there. But all the championship history that they have makes me think that they can get a victory. And who knows if Charlotte is pulling her weight backstage as she did in the ring. She got this match based off her return, and she could easily be saying, I want that title based off my return as well.
Give me and new Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. You know, they shouldn't lose consecutive title matches weeks apart from each other. You know, they failed to dethrone the Judgment Day in a fatal 4-way tag match at Evolution. They only have one team to contend with this weekend. And, you know, I think this is a good spot for them. Bliss, Flair, I think their alliance of convenience is at least something they could build on for the future. So I do like Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. And no. This is funny to me. We'll do it. The Jelly Roll and Randy Orton taking on Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul.
You asked me about a get-up match. This is the one right here. It's obviously Randy Orton.
They're gonna give it to Randy Orton.
Jelly Roll. Right? Jelly Roll's gonna get the pin victory. RKO, and then Jelly Roll's gonna hit the move he's been doing. I think it's like a crossbody, some weird stuff. But RKO, Jelly Roll pin. That's how it'll get done. Logan Paul collects the pin, of course. You don't make Drew McIntyre look weak.
You know, he gets the celebrity spot, and it's almost always a celebrity win, especially if the celebrity is the babyface in the match. Not to be harsh, but in limited physical interactions on television, Jelly Roll has shown no real athleticism. Call it
But
what
give
it
the
is.
credit where it's due. The man was 600 pounds, and he's in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, but still.
100%. That's fair.
He's gonna get the pin. I agree. Jelly Roll will get the pin. Give me Randy Orton, Jelly Roll. And then let's this is a good match.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be the best match of the night. WWE Women's World Championship, Women's Championship. Tiffy time taking on Jade Cargill. Is it her time, Joe?
Oh man, I'm all in on Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
Tiffany Stratton has looked like a great champion, and she's done really well. But you don't make Jade Cargill the queen of the ring and not crown her champion after this matchup in SummerSlam. I think this is going to be her crowning moment, and I think she can hold the championship for quite a while. Though there could be a rivalry with Tiffany Stratton after this, I got to say, Jade Cargill, she's going to win it.
Yeah, and no, I agree. Jade Cargill, strap a fucking rocket to her back. I like Tiffany Stratton. I really do. I think her title run, it sparked, I think, enthusiasm. I like her mean girl persona, but she has struggled to carve out a hero's identity, I would say, amongst the
She's
fans.
probably a better heel. I hate to say it.
Yeah. Stratton, she's talented. She's talented in the ropes, but it's not enough to sustain interest. Jade Cargill's inexperience makes for a risky WWE chance, and I'll say that she is a risky champion, but I think there's enough upside right now to chance it. She's a star, and there's more of that than Stratton could say right now. So I'm going to take Jade Cargill and New.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll end it with the main event, the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther taking on the best to ever do it, CM Punk. You know where I'm going, right?
I know where you're going, and I hope you know where I'm going, because I'm going with you, man. As much as Gunther is the ring general, and he is a dominant force in the WWE, and something you could see that easily he could retain this. Like I said, there's something in the future brewing.
Yep.
And I'm going to have CM Punk beat Gunther and become the World Heavyweight Championship. And
I agree.
We could see what happens in night 2 to make it
interesting. I agree. I think, and we've gone on this show months ago and said we love Gunther. Like it was a wrong decision losing the belt and holding it for over a year and a half, 2 years, whatever it was. I think it was like over 1,000 days or whatever it was. But I love Gunther. But I like CM Punk a little more.
Yeah,
Punk winning would be a good moment for the fans, I think. And if him holding a world title again at some point is what they need, then I think it's what the company is going to get. Look into the future. It's probably more intriguing to have Punk hold the title when Rollins returns, still as the Money in the Bank contender. So there's a good enough reason to assume Punk leaves SummerSlam as the champion. So I like Gunther. I think he'll be just fine, but I do think it is CM Punk's time.
Hey, and that's the thing. What's the next, the core 4, the next PLE for the WWE? What is it called?
What is it?
Survivor Series. What has happened in Survivor Series every time? Champions versus champions, right? Brand versus brand.
Yeah.
November.
Yep,
Survivor Series.
Where?
I don't know, but basically, if that doesn't give you pause of who I think is going to win in night 2, then I don't know what to tell you, because wouldn't you know it, as what was 2014, 2015, when these guys were opposite, one was heel and one was face, and now it's completely on its head, my boy.
Survivor Series, Petco Park, San Diego, California.
That's dope. Outdoors, huh?
Yeah.
That's fire.
You want to start with the WWE Undisputed Championship?
Might as well, because I just
lead
led
right into
it, bro.
Yeah.
And I as much as Cody Rhodes winning King of the Ring proves that he is a legitimate force and the guy, like the face of the company in a sense, I'm still on the farewell tour. I don't think the WWE wants to move off of it. And like I said, leading into the Survivor Series, we can have champion CM Punk face take on heel John Cena as the WWE champion. And so that's why I'm going to take John Cena, spoiling Cody Rhodes' party in night 2 of SummerSlam.
Yeah. I really wanted to take Cody Rhodes, but you can't take it. I don't think the WWE is going to deviate from their whatever year-long plan for John Cena to just stray away from it. The record-setting world champion will lose his title before retiring. I do think that, but I think he'll avoid crisis here, and I do think John Cena will retain here. Cena, excuse me,
Yeah.
he's gonna find a way to win and beat Rhodes, but SummerSlam I think could set the foundation for Cena's eventual downfall or redemption somewhere. So I agree. I think Cena's gonna win this one.
Wow.
Let's go top from down now.
Let's do it this way. Yeah.
Women's World Championship.
I like this one.
Not triple threat match. We got Naomi taking on Rhea Ripley and Io Sky.
You can't sleep on Naomi. I feel like she keeps getting forgotten about. She's the champion for sakes. I mean, but the Money in the Bank didn't have a lot to do with that. And I think she utilized it at the right time with all her experience. But, it seems that Io Sky always puts on a performance in these triple threat matches, but we can't forget about the powerhouse. Rhea Ripley's in this matchup, and I think it's far too long that she hasn't been the champion, and yet she's still been the star of the show, the fandom, everything going into it, the advertisements. It's all Rhea Ripley, and I think it's time at SummerSlam she gets another victory. In this triple threat matchup, it makes sense. I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley, man. I'm all in on her.
Mommy, I love it.
Torn.
I don't know. I was torn.
You love Rhea Ripley.
Thank you. I love Rhea Ripley, but I think this fight has more about tying loose ends. Naomi somewhat stole the Women's World title. She cashed the Money in the Bank briefcase, and I think this match kind of allows Naomi to sneak another win, put Io Sky and Rhea Ripley in the rearview mirror. I think her character evolution has been impressive, and I think she deserves a title run, especially if arch nemesis Jade Cargill wins the belt, and I think they could have a feud then. I'm gonna take Naomi to retain, but you know how hard you could hear it in my voice. I want to take Rhea Ripley, but I'm gonna take Naomi.
I went with it. I could see that, and it's one of the few we're on opposite sides.
Yeah. Let's take a very fun match. The man champion for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Becky Lynch taking on Leah Valkyria. No DQ match.
No DQ. And that's the thing. It's like you would think that, taking every edge and advantage that she could, that Becky Lynch is going to win and keep continuing the storyline. But I think Leah Valkyria, now that it's no disqualification, she could just give her a taste of her own medicine and turn it on its head. I'm going to take Leah Valkyria. It's a perfect passing of the torch. I think both Irish women and Becky Lynch can, pass, like I said, the reins to the next generation of Irish.
I'll say this. I think Valkyria has done a fantastic job kind of establishing herself and the fans, proving that she's great in the ring. I was skeptical at first, but she's good.
Really good.
Where I'd like to see her regain the Women's Intercontinental Championship, this feels like a Becky Lynch win here and an opportunity to kind of separate the two women for the foreseeable future. Also, there's not a ton of value in a continued flip-flopping of the belt with the same, you can never quote, you can never challenge me again stipulation in place. Whatever the fuck that means. So I'm
going to be named later, and that player is yourself.
I'm going to take Becky Lynch. I'm going to take the man to win. I think she retains here.
Nice.
Let's go to the United States Championship. Sola Sikoa taking on Jacob Fatu in a steel cage match.
We had to lock him in there, man, because Jacob Fatu's been trying to get his hands on Solo, and he finally does. I'm so high on Jacob Fatu. It takes, Solo, he's a beast, and it just seems though, according to him at the heel spot, it takes him other people to get involved for him to be victorious. And not to say that still will happen, even with the steel cage locked in the door, the help still finds a way. And I'm going to still go with Jacob Fatu, even with the card stacked against him. I think being in the steel cage gives him that edge. Give me Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, I think booking this rematch might have been a mistake so soon. Fatu's red hot title run really never got started, and Solo Sikoa's cold spell ended once he became champion. Neither, I thought, could afford a loss, but the rematch stipulation makes a winner here, and I think Jacob Fatu has a future main event champion written all over him, and I think he could rebound off a loss here from Sikoa. So I think there's enough evidence to side here with the champ. I'm going to take Solo Sikoa here to retain.
Wow, 3 in a row we're on opposites. Man.
Yeah, I do like Jacob Fatu, though. I really do.
Maybe we realign in the Intercontinental matchup.
Yeah, boy. Dirty Dominic.
Did you see him in AAA?
No, I didn't.
Bro, he came in because you know how AAA signed with the WWE and they're doing the Lucha stuff?
Yeah.
He came out in a Lucha mask and attacked one of their main guys. and literally stole the belt off of him and took the mask off, and it was one of the loudest pops I've ever seen.
Wow.
Talk about stars in the WWE. Dominic Mysterio may be the top guy.
So you're taking him to retain?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got Dominic Mysterio as well. You know, AJ Styles, he's bulletproof veteran. I got a ton of respect for him. He doesn't need an Intercontinental Championship run, but I think he can give Dom a nice bump by, you know, taking a loss here. Mysterio, he also has the entire Judgment Day available to help him score a cheap win, retain the title, move forward to maybe something a little more interesting. But I like Dom here. I think
Dirty Dom.
And then we'll end it with the
WWE
Wyatt
Tag Team Championship.
Wyatt sticks. And I'll just say this, you know, I like the Street Profits. It's a TLC match. It'll be very interesting. I like how they're starting the show off, but
it's gonna be sick.
SmackDown's tag team title scene has kind of, you know, been a never-ending game of hot potato. What you get it. You know, 7 teams have held the titles in just 15 months. I think they retain here. I think the Y6 faction, you know, they have several number of advantages in this environment. So I think they should be the favorite. I'm going to take them, and I think they win here.
Yeah, we have yet to see them in the ladder match, you know, the TLC match. You got to get the belt off the top. You see Andrade and Rey Fenix with the lucha background that they could do well in this matchup. DIY always been good in those type of hardcore matches. And the Street Profits is always reign eternal. I can't be forgetting about Motor City Machine Guns because they've turned out to be really legit. But the forgotten about team here, and I know I get your point about the title's been passing around, but these guys have been grinding since NXT. And if any have time to keep the belts passed around and give them a title opportunity, it's Fraxium, man. I'm going to pick them as the winners. I really think Fraxium, as the smallest team in the bunch, come out on top. DIY ain't too far off being a little small, but I just think that these guys are going to be lightning in there. What is it? It's Frazier and an Axiom, right? Fraxium. Yeah. They're a fun team, man. I would be so happy to see them win, so I'm taking a chance on them. And we were completely different from night 1, aligning with all our picks, to night 2, having a lot of different opinions.
I love it.
Yeah, bro.
A little parody going on here. All right, kid. Let's go to some news. Good luck. We'll start with the UFC 319. We've been itching for a chief support, and we finally get one. Event? Lerone Murphy will take on Aaron Pico August 16th at the United Center, UFC 319. Love this. Lerone Murphy, if you beat Aaron Pico, you're next.
You're next. Aaron Pico, you beat Lerone Murphy. You got another fight to go. I don't know. They could give it to him, right? Because if Lerone Murphy's that close, I mean, Pico.
I mean, they were going to give this is the number 1 contenders because
that's
they said.
What I mean. Yeah. It's just like we argued about Emil Arbazi, Movsar Evloev. Brother, might be have to finding another job, man.
Yeah, cut him. BSD will take on Mauricio Rufy, UFC Paris, September 6th. The Fighting Nerds are going into Paris to spoil the French party.
Like you said, we got Barrio, right?
And then this should be the chief support, in my opinion. BSD and Mauricio Rufy. Love it.
I like Rufy via decapitation.
I love both Brazilians.
In those, right? Fighting Nerds, baby.
Yeah. And I'll say this. I'm fading the Frenchman, but the French have the best fucking crowd.
That crowd's going to be rowdy. They had to go back in 2025.
Yeah.
They got to go back every year, I feel like.
We do have a main event for UFC Perth, September 27th. 5-round main event in the light heavyweight division. Hide your girls. Carlos Ulberg will take on Dirty Dom Reyes, baby.
Yo, that's a fight that just is insane, bro. That fight goes hard as fuck, bro. That is
who do you like?
I'm on the Dom Reyes return, man. I love that story for him. If he gets a victory over Ulberg, he's getting the title shot.
No way.
Yeah, 100%. If Ulberg wins,
not if Pereira wins, then they're gonna run the trilogy.
They're gonna have to run the trilogy, yeah. But not so fast.
Uncle Lion, baby. I don't think people understand how good Magomed Ankalaev really is.
Is he not?
Yeah, he's a 2-1 favorite here.
Favorite in the matchup. You asked me last, but
honestly though, I still think the winner of this of Carlos Ulberg and Dom Reyes
they'd have to fight away. Yuri and Khalil or something.
Yeah, because it's going to be Yuri versus Khalil Roundtree, and that's going to get the winner.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially if Ankalaev wins.
Especially, you got to move the division, keep the division moving.
Yep.
And
keep it
Pereira,
moving.
after a loss again, goes up a division.
Heavyweight. And
Heavyweight,
Tom
here we go.
Aspinall.
That's who would bring back John Jones, not Tomboy.
Yeah.
That's-
Oh, I'm back.
uh,
Did you see Conor McGregor's back in the testing pool? He tested one sample already.
You don't know whether that man's coming or going. It's too
No, you don't.
chaotic. I don't even know if it's chaotic neutral anymore. Maybe chaotic evil.
Kid, you got the PFL finals tonight.
Yeah,
Your
bro.
boy Thad Jean gonna win it all?
You know that's right. Yo, he's a beast, man. And
He is.
did you see the weigh-ins? Like I said, you don't want to hold too much stock in the weigh-ins, but both guys I'm taking were about twice the size of their opponents. Thad Jean is twice the size of Logan Storley, and Jesus Pinedo is twice the size of Movlid Kabulaev. And I've picked Kabulaev in the past on my pound-for-pound list, but he's 34, 35 years of age. Pinedo has the length, the knockout ability, stopping takedowns nonstop. I like the favorite there, minus 165. I'd lay the chalk for Jesus Pinedo. And then, like you said, in the main event, Thad Jean, he's going to become champion, $500,000 richer with the world on his shoulders. I think he could be a star for the PFL. I'll lay the minus 220 with that guy, but you may want to take him with a KOTK. I think you can do it with both, but I'm just laying money line chalk on these guys, especially with these other promotions. Come on, guys, let's get the props out, the bets out, because we're looking at these fights a week early, and we still don't see the prop bets out until the day before. It's a little too late for our liking.
Oh, by the way, we forgot to mention Dakota Ditcheva, great win a few weeks ago, and what's his name? He lost last 5 seconds, 10 seconds.
Johnny Eblen.
Johnny Eblen, yes, Johnny Eblen lost. But I'll say this: what the UFC does and what a good promotion does. We were talking about another one mention. They make the fights that you want to see. The PFL does not.
Not really.
Johnny Eblen and that guy, the Spanish guy, you need to run the rematch. And it already looks like they don't want to do that. They have to run Paul Hughes Umar back. They have to. I don't give a fuck if it's in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, I'd go to that.
Yeah.
And the aren't one of the finals in Atlantic City too? The other
Tonight.
final? They're in Atlantic City tonight?
Yeah, I forgot.
Holy shit. New Jersey's popping.
Yeah, SummerSlam, Atlantic City, just take 95 all the way down.
Now you'd have to be in Atlantic City now and then come up for SummerSlam on the weekend.
That's fine.
It's a good weekend.
Well, I wish the Trump Plaza was still there. We got to stay at
Hey.
the Borgata.
That's the only thing I hear. AC is a shell of itself.
Oh, it's a shit show. I mean, it's like not good unless you're in the hotel.
Sportsbooks and gambling have been the death of AC. There's no allure to it anymore.
No. That's where WrestleMania 2 and 3 were? Oh,
That was one of the hearts of the country, and now it's the armpit.
wow. It's so sad. But the rest of the PFL finals, we got August 15th in 2 weeks. Charlotte, North Carolina. Your girl, women's flyweight, Liz Carmouche and Jenna Bishop. And then we have August 21st in Hollywood, Florida. Your boy, Fabian Edwards, taking on Dalton Rosta as well. So
Nice.
We'll see. Good luck, Joe. Any big plans this weekend? What do you got?
Nah, man, just that locking into fights. Now I got to look into that Charlotte card. As you said, I might just want to go. It's
Fuck
close
it.
by.
Boots on the ground.
I think I got Blink in September. A couple
What's
comedians
that?
are coming down. Blink 182. They're doing a concert.
Oh,
They got a new
nice.
album and shit. That's in September. But I think you got Dan Soder, stand-up comic. Shout out Dan Soder coming in Wilmington, the Dead Crow Comedy Room, and then Stavros Halkias will be in Myrtle Beach. We're getting
Stavros is
dirty.
Piss your pants
You're
funny.
Dirty in Myrtle, baby.
Yeah, Dirty Myrtle. I love Stavros. Shout out to
You got to come
DMV.
down for that. That's in November. You have time to prep.
Oh yeah, that is. I got time. But kid, good luck. Enjoy the fights this weekend, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.